Hello Internet, welcome to Indomitable Tech. So coming back to our data visualization session. In the previous session we saw Plotly level 1. In this we will be looking at level 2. So level 2, it consists of uncommon charts or plots that we'll be plotting. So here we'll be taking a look at these 6 types of plots. First one is timeline. On x-axis we'll have the dates, and on y-axis we'll have the different labels. So on x-axis we'll be having dates in ordinal format, that is in following an order, and on y-axis we'll be having the labels, so nominal values. Then second one is funnel. So on x-axis we'll be having measurements, and again on y-axis we'll be having the names or labels, that is nominal values. Then third one is Sunburst, which will appear in circle. Then Treemap, then density Heatmap, and last one Choropleth, that is plotting values on world map. So what we'll do is, first we will import warnings. So the only reason that I'll be importing warnings is sometimes we might get warnings, and because of that it will take part of the screen. So that's the reason I am going to ignore the warnings. Then we'll be importing pandas, Plotly Express, and the data that we'll be reading is FIFA 22 players dataset. So once it gets read, I'll show you the preview. The first 5 rows. So we have FIFA ID, player URL, short name, long name, player positions, overall, potential, value euro, wage euro, age, and so on. So in total I guess there are around 110 columns, and number of rows, if you want to see, you can type in as shape. So in total 19,239 rows and 110 columns. The important columns that we'll be focusing on will be short name, player positions, value in euro, overall, potential, wage in euro. So basically these are the columns that we'll be considering, and we will form a subset of players who only play for Manchester United. So this is the name of the club for which we'll be considering the data. So I have formed this small data set. So if you see, we have in total for MUFC there are 33 players. If you see shape, 33 and 13 columns, and this is how the data set will appear. Short name, player position, value, overall, potential, wage euro, age, league name, club name, nationality, club joined, contract valid, and preferred foot. Now one thing which we have to do, since we are also going to take a look at this timeline map, we have to convert all the columns related to date time to date time format. So if you see right now, df underscore MUFC, and if I type info, so if you see club contract valid until, and club joined. So these two are appearing. First one, club joined, is appearing as object, and club contract valid until, it is appearing as float. These two columns, club joined and club contract valid till. So what we will do, we will transform this into date time. So this particular code block will take care of that. We will replace these dates that which are right now not in date time format to date time format, and we will replace club joined by start date, the name of the column, and replace club contract valid until by end date. Now if you see, if I bring this down and re-execute it, start date and end date are appearing in date time format, and if I type in info, start date and end date is appearing in date time 64. Now moving on, now let us start our plotting. So if you have followed the previous video regarding Plotly1. So format is very simple, it will remain the same. It is a 3-line format. So first one we will define what a figure is, and on next line we will type figure dot update layout. So in update layout we'll be writing the name of the graph, that is the title of the graph, then the name you want to give on x-axis, on y-axis. So let's do that. So fix figure dot update layout. So right now I am not defining what the figure is, I am just defining what the skeleton should be. So this we'll just copy paste it, and you will see we just have to make changes to the constants in there. So title text equal to, so right now we will leave it as blank because we'll be copy pasting this to the other graphs as well. So just comment this out. Second one is x-axis title, and then y-axis title. And then if you want to change the height and width, you can do that as well. Height as, let's say by default let's keep it as 300, and width let's keep it as 600. And then fig.show, so what we are plotting, so whatever we have entered in fig, that will be shown. So I'm going to copy this and pasting it for all these 6 graphs: timeline, funnel, sunburst, Treemap, density heatmap, and Choropleth. So in funnel I have copy pasted it, then in sunburst I have copy pasted it, then in Treemap copy pasted it, for density heatmap as well copy pasted it, and then for Choropleth copy pasted it. Now coming back to timeline, so what we'll do is we will the format is mentioned right under the title. So for timeline it should be px.timeline, and you have to pass in the data frame, and on x-axis you have to pass in the start date and end date, and on y-axis you have to pass in the nominal column. So in our example we are going to see the start and end date of player contracts, and you can also color it as per the label values. So for example, so let's write in the code over here. For example, we will plot start and end date of players, and then on y-axis we will show the name of the players, and we are going to do that for all people whose overall is above 85. It is not this one, who are above 85. Yeah. So their overall is above 85. And then for example I'll show you how many players there are. So 1 2 3 4 5, so there are only 5 players whose overall is above 85. So let us plot them. Px dot timeline, and data frame will be this one, timeline df, and x start, this is the start date, this is the name of the column which has the start dates, and on x end we have the end date. I'll just copy paste it, and on y-axis we will take the name of the players, y as name of the players, short name, and if you want to color code it as per nationality you can do that as well. Let us color code by nationality. So these two are from Portugal, these two are from France, and only this number 5, this person J Sancho, is from England. So let's do that. Color, nationality name. Title text, you can enter timeline plot for players above 85. On x-axis we can have timeline, and on y-axis player name, and let us execute this. And there you have it, the timeline plot. On y-axis we have the player names, and on x-axis we have the timeline. So if you hover over it, first one, Jay Sancho, color in green, he is from England. So nationality England, start date July 2021, end date June 2026. Then this is for R Varane, then this is for P Pogba, start date August 2016, end date June 2022, Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's how you plot timeline plot. Now coming to funnel, we will check the overall for players who are playing for England, means who belong to England, whose nationality is England. So this is the format, same as above, 3 lines of code, fig.funnel, because we are going to plot funnel, and then you pass in the data frame, and on x-axis you pass in the numeric column, and on y-axis you pass in the name of the person. So px dot funnel, pass in the data frame is this funnel df that we will be using, and on x-axis we will have overall, name of the column, and on y-axis we have short name. Then title, funnel chart of English players overall. X-axis will be overall, and on y-axis you can give player name, height, width 300 and 600. So since this is funnel, let us do the reverse, increase height to 600 and reduce width to 400, and then fig.show, it will give a funnel. So for better visualization, let us keep this as 500 and this, sorry, my bad, this should be 500. My numpad is not working. Let us also increase the width. I forgot, my numpad is not working, sorry for that. Yeah. So this is how the funnel will appear. On x-axis we have the length as per the overall, and on y-axis we have the name of that particular person. So all these people belong to England, and we have plotted them in a funnel graph. Then Sunburst, what we'll do for Sunburst, so in Sunburst you have to pass in the path parameter, and you have to pass in a specific order as per, so a parent should come first, then child, and then grandchild. So Sunburst is basically a circle and another circle on top of it, which will be the base circle will be the parent, the circle on top of it will be the child, and the circle on top of child will be grandchild, and so on. So this is how a sunburst will appear. So what we will do, the innermost we will plot in as the left foot or right footed player, and above that we will draw as per nationality. So for right footed player, these are the nationalities, and in that nationality we will plot the names of the players. So this is the data frame that we'll be using. It is the same as above, which we created based out of 33 players from Manchester United. So px.sunburst, and data frame will be our df_mufc, and then we will define path. So first one will be preferred foot, left footed or right footed, and then we will plot as per nationality, and then we will plot the name. Height, width, let us keep it as 500 since it is going to be a circle, and title, let's say Choropleth. Of players. X-axis, y-axis won't make any sense here since it is a sorry, my bad, it is not a Choropleth, it is a sunburst. Sunburst of players, and x-axis and y-axis won't make any difference over here, so I am removing it. And upon execution, if you see, in the innermost circle there are two divisions, right and left. On the next circle we have, for right, these many 11 players are from England, 3 are from France, 3 are from Portugal, 2 from Netherlands, and so on. And for left, 2 from Brazil, 2 from England, 1 from Ivory Coast, 1 from Serbia, 1 from Spain. And in that, the last layer, the outermost, will be the name of the players. So from England we have this T. Mengi, Hitton, Shortire, Jones, Rashford, Grant, Sancho, Lingard. Same for France, you have Martial, Pogba, Varane. Then from Portugal, Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo, Diego Dalot. And same for left footed. So this is how a sunburst will appear. Then moving on to Treemap. Treemap is similar to Sunburst, so I am going to copy paste this because a hierarchy will be maintained. So in Treemap you will have quadrilaterals plotted, and in that quadrilateral you will have smaller quadrilaterals plotted. So format is as this: px dot treemap, you pass in the data frame and the path, parent, grandchild, and parent, child, and grandchild. So it will be a rectangle. In rectangle, the outermost rectangle will be the parent rectangle, and the rectangles inside that will be child, and other rectangles inside those smaller rectangles will be the grandchild, and so on. That's how the hierarchy will be maintained. So let us plot. We will plot a tree map for players whose overall is above 80. So px dot tree map, and data frame will be this tree map df, where overall of every player is above 80, and the path that we will be passing. So we will see players who are left footed and right footed, and in that we will take smaller subsets of based upon nationality, and then lastly we will plot in the names. So outermost will be preferred foot, and the child will be nationality name, and then the short name, the innermost. Title will be tree map, and then x-axis title. Again, this x-axis title and y-axis title will not make any sense. You will see why. Height 300, width 600, that's okay. And figure dot show. So let me increase so you will be able to see properly. 8, and this, let us increase it to 500. Yeah. So right footed and left footed, we have got these two divisions, and inside that we have divisions as per the nationality. And this we can again color as per nationality. So color, so not only nationality, you can also color based upon the right and left. So whatever nominal values you can provide, you can color as per them. So for example purpose, I am going to pass in color as nationality. So right and left, and then color. So England players are represented in blue, orange for France, dark orange for Portugal, pink for Netherlands, green for Spain, cyan for Uruguay, purple for Brazil, and again blue for England, because this blue is different than this blue, because this blue is appearing for left footed player. So this is how you plot a tree map. The hierarchy is maintained. Outermost rectangle is for preferred foot, and inside that you have as per nationality, divisions as per nationality, and inside that you have the player names. Now moving on, density heat map. So if I scroll up, this is how the density heat map will appear. So for example, we will be plotting age versus overall. So on x-axis and y-axis, you will have to pass in the numeric columns: px dot density heat map, data frame, and x column and y column. that is the format. So let us type in px dot density heatmap, and data frame will be our df underscore mufc, and on x-axis we will plot age, and then on y-axis we will plot overall, and then title we will enter it as density heatmap, and on x-axis we have age, and on y-axis we have overall. Figure.show. This is how density heatmap will appear. This on the right side we have the color schema. So here if you see, we have age between 15 to 19 and overall between 60 to 69. Total count is 6. The darker the color, the less number. So if you see dark blue, count is appearing as 0, and the maximum is for yellow. So if you see over here, age between 25 to 29, overall 80 to 89, and count is 9. Here we have count as 1, 35 to 39. On y-axis we have overall, and x-axis we have age. So for better representation we can do it like this: 600 600. So here you can see the density. So higher the count, the more brighter the map, and lesser the count, the darker the map. So that's how density heatmap is plot. Now moving on to the last one, Choropleth. Choropleth will be plotting on a world map. So Plotly by default provides two types of Choropleth inbuilt. First one is the world map, and second one is map for USA. If you want to make use of other maps, you have to pass in a GeoJSON file. So for purpose of usage, for ease of understanding, we will be focusing on the world map. So you have to pass in the name of the countries in ISO format. ISO format, there can be two types of formats for representing the country. So it can be 2 character or 3 character. So for USA, if you see ISO, let me show you example. ISO name for USA. So for USA, in 2 words it is US, and similarly we have 3 letter words as well for ISO to represent the name of the country. For let's say for France, ISO name for France, it is FR. So we have this library by the name of PyCountry, which helps you with the name of the country. So this particular line of code will help us create this particular data frame. So what I have done is I have formed a data set of players whose value is above 80, and this is not for just Manchester United players. This is for all the players in our raw data frame whose overall is above 80. And I have prepared this ChoroDF, where first column is name of the country, second one is the ISO name, and third is the count of players. So let us do that. Format remains px.choropleth, then you pass in the data frame, then location in ISO format, and then the color that we will pass in the numeric column. So the darker or lighter shade of that particular country will be as per the numeric column. And you can define the color scheme over here. You can find color scheme using px.colors.sequential and then the name of the color scheme. So let us see the color scheme that we can use. So px.colors.sequential dot. So these are the different color schemes. So we will use rainbow color scheme for our understanding, or magma. So let's use magma. Color scheme as magma, and then px dot choropleth, and data frame will be this ChoroDF, and then location will be this column ISO, and then color will be as per count. sorry, my bad, color will be as per this color scheme, sorry, this color continuous scale, this will be as per color scheme. And this color will be as per the count. So let's increase the height and width. Let's keep width as 800 since it is a world map. And then title we will give Choropleth of player overall. On x-axis we will have x-axis, y-axis will not make any sense because we are going to map it on the world map. So this is how the Choropleth will appear. So dark color means less number of players and yellow means higher number of players. So if you zoom in, you can zoom in using you have several options over here: download, pan, box select, lasso, zoom in, zoom out. So if you zoom in, so if you see this particular yellow 60, so many players from Spain, ISO ESP is Spain, then 24 from PRT Portugal, then this purple 23 from Italy. So the ones those are not appearing over here, so basically their names are not in our data frame whose overall is above 80. So if you see for India, unfortunately we do not have any players whose overall is above 80 in FIFA 22. So this is how you plot a Choropleth map, and that's the sixth one which we discussed, Choropleth. So in total, to summarize this session, we checked 6 maps: timeline, funnel, sunburst, Treemap, density heatmap, and Choropleth. And that's it for this video. This was Shaunak, your AIML consultant, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.